downtown Syracuse for the Retro Game Con. Boom shakalaka!
Time to check out the Retro Game Con. This is the 10th year of this convention, and I can tell you there was a lot of anticipation here. Really big crowds just waiting to get in.
So we're here at Retro Game Con. It's one of the largest retro gaming conventions in the country, and I'm feeling like a kid again.
I say retro, you say GameCon. Retro, GameCon, retro, GameCon. Oh snap, it's like magic when this do perform. They think it didn't exist, it's like a unicorn. So when I rhyme, yo, they say that news price. Turtles, I'm on the soundtrack. You know that, right?
Hey everybody, I'm John St. John. You know me as the voice of Duke Nukem. Hail to the king, baby. Here at Retro Game Con in Syracuse, New York. What a great event this is. A lot of wonderful people, a lot of great vendors. I mean, just take a look around at all the vendors. It's fantastic.
Guess where we are? We're in Syracuse, New York for, you guessed it, Retro Game Con.
The preeminent event of the year is taking over the On Center in downtown Syracuse. It's Retro Game Con 10.
And this is Retro Game Con. This is Syracuse, New York. They do a few things at this convention that a lot of conventions don't do.
They have it expanding. It seems to get bigger and bigger every time. Free play area, which I'm a little bit jealous of.
Retro Game Con is drawing thousands of video game fans to downtown, and this year's event features new guests and musical performances, along with video games you can play for free.
I'm back now from Syracuse, and I have to say, that con is pretty underrated. I haven't heard much about it, and it's kind of up there with too many games in terms of vendors and just stuff you can do.
You should be here. Retro Game Con, Syracuse, New York. Make a note of it. You'll be sorry if you miss out.
Although I wasn't able to secure Three Ninjas Kick Back on the Super Nintendo, I did have a ton of fun. There was a bunch of video games out on the tables, all kinds of awesome artwork.
Hello, good Thursday morning. I don't know what day it is. You are tuning in to Good News York. I am Mike Brindisi, and we are joined by our amazing Good News York producer. And, well, what's your title here at Growth Mode Content? The technical?
You know,
aren't you like the content?
It's in my...
we don't even know
it's
what
in my
is.
email thing. It's
director of creative services
manager
for Growth Mode Content. Why is Danny sitting here with us and not at his production spot? Because Matt is out today. He is out there changing the world, I'm sure.
And we miss him.
And we do miss him. It's very weird being here without him. This is his brainchild. But yeah, you're tuning into Good News York. Wanted to have Danny on today because, first of all, who the hell wants to just sit here and watch me alone? But Danny's got a lot of cool things to talk about. One being Retro Game Con, which you just saw as we were coming out of the intro there, a little trailer for Retro Game Con. That was right here in Syracuse, New York last year, and it's coming back again this year, October 10th, 11th, and 12th. And our man Danny Tripodi, did I say that right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like Truman Capote. Danny Tripodi is one of the organizers of the event, and I am blown away. I'm a bit of a gaming nerd myself. Danny, talk about it. How did this start? What happened?
Yeah, so I'm not really an organizer. You're giving me too much credit there.
Just fucking roll with it, man.
I'm a volunteer.
But that sounds way less cool.
I get to do all the graphics and like help with the social media and stuff, so that's really cool. Anyways, I came into the picture around 2016. I was brought in by Pat Milliken, who's the director of Retro Game Con now, and I ran the Extra Life stage. We played video games with con-goers and raised money for our local upstate Golisano Children's Hospital.
I do love that.
Yeah, it was awesome. And it kind of grew into, hey, you guys know that I do graphics, right? And then I kind of became more useful, and it's been that way since. You know?
And it looked so amazing. I mean, first of all, back to the name. I mean, Retro Game Con. First of all, if you're a gamer, it hooks you. The word retro is key, you know, especially for an 80s, 90s kid like myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, were you surprised at the turnout? Because you had a great turnout. Did you think it was going to turn out as well as it did? Or like, was it like a Woodstock thing where you're like, oh my God, I can't, you know what I mean?
Well, you know, I think nostalgia is a big thing, like you said.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people now are our age are getting that disposable income that they can spend on things, and like we saw during COVID, people were rebuying Wiis and stuff.
Absolutely,
the price of video games like jumped.
Yeah,
because people were at home and had nothing to do, and they wanted to play some of their old childhood video games. So, you know, it's kind of the perfect storm.
It really is. I mean, I do also remember during COVID, I started seeing an uptick in those thumb drives that you plug into your TV and you can play like 10,000 games from Super Nintendo. Some were kind of, you know, bunk, but you know, some were pretty legit. So Retro Game Con is happening again. This is what the 14th or the second one in Syracuse?
No, so this will be our 13th year doing it in Syracuse. Yep.
I'm acting like it's a brand new thing. I just found out about it. And it's at the On Center.
Yep.
October 10th, 11th, and 12th. So I've never been. I saw the trailer. I walk in. What can you give me, like, what kind of things can I expect? What kind of things go on?
Oh, there's tons of vendors. We have over 100 local vendors that sell video games, art, different video game accessories.
But you also have some pretty A-list celebrity video game stars coming. One we can't talk about, but I will tell you this. For you, I will say it. It would blow your mind if this person, which is almost confirmed, does confirm for this event. We're talking top of the heap. But anyway, tell us who else is coming. I'm really excited.
Yeah. So we have Tim Downey, who is he is Gal in the Baldur's Gate 3 games. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's
I'm
a
not,
D&D
but
based game that was Game of the Year last year. And we also have Ellen McLean is our current headliner. She is the voice of the evil robot GLaDOS in Portal and Portal 2. She also sings the songs at the end. She's a trained opera singer, so she sings
You think
still
she'll
alive.
sing? She's gonna sing,
I hope
right?
she does. I'm a huge fan of Portal, so I'm really looking forward to meeting her.
You can always ask her.
She's such a talented woman.
I mean, I would expect that if she's going to this, she's gonna realize, like, all right, people are going to want to pull out. You know what I mean? It's like going to see Journey, and you're like, what? You're not gonna play Forever Yours or whatever the hell the name of the song is? See, I don't even know the name of the song. Faithfully. Yeah. I don't know why I chose Journey of all this, but that is so exciting. Do they do panels as well, like a Q&A type deal?
So we have a ton of great volunteers that put on panels, and we'll usually send out a survey after or right around April when our tickets go on sale. We'll send out a survey to get folks that want to run panels. And you know, last year because of Baldur's Gate, we had D&D game masters set up and running D&D campaigns on the fly. It was really cool,
dude. You know what I want to do? I want to show up, and I just want to walk around the Nintendo section and just blow on all the games, and then blow into the. There was an old trick. Back in my day. So sometimes you would turn a game on, all right, on the Nintendo. So you'd have to slide it in and push it down, right? There was like a thing you'd press. And sometimes the game would just flicker. And you're like, what the hell? And you'd hit reset and it would still flicker. Sometimes you would have to take another video game, slide it in the slot on top of it just to hold it down so it wouldn't flicker. These were the things we had to do that none of you little shits have to do now. Because you're like, oh, my Wi-Fi's out. How do I drink water? You know, like that's your only problem is losing Wi-Fi. We had to troubleshoot. We had to blow on these games. We had to... Yeah, I don't know. Did you have to deal with that?
Yeah, you know, I
did what you had to do, right?
I've blown in a few cartridges, you know, before. But yeah, no, it's we try not to have guests do that at our
no, you know that.
convention.
Don't let me. I was joking. I'm not going to do that, and please don't do that.
We're going to tape them down just in case.
Do you have to have security for that kind? I mean, I think by law you have to have security for a public event anyway. But is there a possibility of like people getting mad at each other or ruining the games? You know,
there hasn't been any issues, thankfully. Knock on wood. You know, gamers are pretty chill. You know, which is great. And you know, our volunteer free play staff are great. They usually hang out because a lot of the free play stuff, the TVs and stuff that you saw in the trailer, that's stuff that it's people's personal things. You know, we have a guy, Matt, shout out to him. He'll bring his whole Guitar Hero and Rock Band setup.
Sick.
And it's awesome. But you know, everybody looks out for each other's stuff and make sure that nobody's doing anything suspicious.
There's a sector of people I feel got the short end of the stick in the gaming world with all the technology, and that is the people that you used to call if you had the money, like you're playing Zelda and you can't figure it out, and you would call these lines, the Nintendo tip hotline, and this was before the Genie, which and then
the internet just kind of got
those
all
poor
those guys out.
I was watching something recently where they showed, I forget why the hell I was watching, but they showed a clip of like the old school guy that would like literally sitting there playing Zelda, and he'd be like,
while he was on the phone.
Yeah, you want to grab the sword, and then I feel bad that I'm sure those guys are doing fine now. They've evolved, but that's what you used to have to do.
Yeah.
Those are the guys. I mean, those were heroes. When you had a group of 4 or 5 of you, and you're like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
We'll use my mom's credit card. We'll call the tip line.
Are you familiar with Grandma's Boy?
The movie?
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, I can't tell you apart from it. I don't remember, but I saw it. Yeah.
That movie made me want to work in video games.
Oh,
so this was kind of
my
way into.
Yes.
Like seeing the tip line and stuff. It's like, man, that's awesome. It sucks.
was a dream
the internet
job.
exists.
I know. It's like it's probably one of the only things I can think of where I'm like, I really wish the internet didn't come along for that.
Right.
Like that was just a special thing. I could go on about games. Dude, that looks so phenomenal. Growing up, I struggle because I don't want to call myself a gamer or a gaming nerd out of respect for the true gamers and gaming nerds. But I also don't want to sell myself short. I still play, I'm a PlayStation 5 guy now. Call of Duty, the sports games. But I do like different games. Like, are you familiar with what's the one I play there? Very story driven. The girl's name is something Life. No. I'm blanking out.
Is it Life is Strange?
That's it. The
Gotcha.
Life is Strange series. Okay. I'm very much into. I'm also very into. When I was growing up, choose your own adventure books were huge, and you're much younger than me, but I remember being in 4th grade and I had a choose your own adventure book. It was amazing. It was like if you a UFO landed, and if you want to get on the spaceship, turn to page 89. If you don't, turn to page 46. But then you would check what would have happened anyway. So I love that. I think that's why I love the element of those Life is Strange games and the Telltale games like the Walking Dead series. I'm very into choosing how there's different outcomes. Detroit Become Human is one of the most masterful games I've ever played. So yeah, all that to say, I game.
I was gonna say it sounds like you're a gamer.
I do, but then I see these events and I'm like, dude, these guys are. I mean, this is the real deal. So I grew up on. I was first introduced to Nintendo, and then it was Super Nintendo, and and I played Sega with my friends had Sega and all that stuff, and then I switched over to PlayStation, and I've had everyone ever since. When you were growing up, what was your first introduction to video games, and what were you into?
Oh man, so I was a big Nintendo guy.
Hell yeah!
Which I got a Game Boy when I was 2. My aunt bought it for me, and my dad was like, "Why the hell are you buying this 2-year-old a Game Boy?" But I loved it,
dude. That's what I started on.
Super into
Tetris.
Tetris. I had Super Mario World or Land. Super Mario Land, and I was addicted to that thing. So they ended up my parents got me an SNES, and then it was pretty much Nintendo all the way up. I've had like the 360 and PlayStation consoles. Like right now, I think I have a Switch and a PS5 connected to my TV at all times. But yeah, no, it's nostalgia, you know, and it's something that a lot of people are introducing to their kids. Like we see that now is these fresh faces come into our convention and they don't know what an N64 is, you know. They're trying to wave the controller around like it's motion controls, and then they learn from their parents and they're like, oh no, I used to have this as a kid. Yeah. And then they end up buying some video games that they find at Retro Game Con, and it's kind of an awesome circle that we're making new gamers out of the former.
Speaking of which, one thing I've really noticed, and I think it's because since social media has picked up and Twitch and all that, you know, when I was growing up, okay, it was like if you were like, dude, I love video games, and the next thing would always be, oh, so you're a virgin. You know what I mean? Right? Or you're a dork. Yeah. Now, like, you don't talk to women. Now I'm seeing there is a very strong presence of females that are not only playing video games, but are in the gaming world, like have their own Twitch streams, and that's got to be cool to see. And did you get a lot of females turning out for these events?
Oh, absolutely, especially for the Baldur's Gate fans. You know, there's a lot of female gamers, and I think there's been a big shift. But even back in the day when video games were first coming out, I mean, Miss Pac-Man was targeted to get women into arcades, and it worked. You know, there are female gamers. I think one of the issues was the games for female gamers weren't to the level that they were producing for the boys, and really everybody just wants to play the same game, you know. I think that's what game developers are learning now, is like there's not really any gender for video games.
That's so funny. You know, you're right though. They're probably like, let's just take Pac-Man and slap some lipstick on him. We'll call it Miss Pac-Man. We got to get some women in here. Right. But it's like, no, why don't you make a quality fucking game that women are going to get into like you do for the boys here? Yeah. That's phenomenal. I remember when people ask me, they're like, not like this is something everybody asks all the time, but I've been asked, like, do you remember your favorite Christmas gift? Or like, what's the gift you flipped out? There's probably video somewhere, and if I find it, I'm going to burn it. But I remember, I had humble upbringing. You know, we didn't have a lot of money, and so I wanted a Super Nintendo so bad. And so I opened up all my gifts, and I was happy and grateful. And then my parents and my grandparents, everybody, they pulled the 10 minutes later, like, oh, wait, we forgot. Grab that. Dude, I cried my eyes out. And I mean, because it was like, I guess I would explain it as the equivalent now of like getting a brand new house or a car. Like that's what it felt like. Right. And some people might look at that like, geez, dude, why don't you get a grip on your emotions? But you get that, right? Like that feeling. Yeah. It was amazing. And then you want to talk about nostalgia. I'm still in a group chat with we had 5 or 6 of us that were real close in high school. Yeah. And our thing was Friday, Saturday nights, GoldenEye on Nintendo 64.
Classic.
You're younger, so I didn't know.
Slappers only.
Yes. You can't use Odd Job because you're short. No Odd Job, right? Yeah. And, you say what you want, but I mean, those are times that I slapped it on now and it's like, brings a tear to my eye because I'm back doing what I was doing then. Retro Game Con, where is it now? At the On Center, October 10th, 11th, and 12th?
Yep.
And where do you get tickets? I'm assuming you can do a one-day pass. How does that all work out?
Yeah, so tickets will be available online at retrogamecon.com. They go on sale April 1st. We also have a smaller version of our show, Retro Game Con Spring Edition, that's going to be happening at Elite Gaming. That's May 17th.
Okay.
Year. So that's just a one-day show, half the size of our vendor hall, and we're going to be bringing in a few guests. We'll be announcing those soon. That you can catch those on our socials at Retro Game Con.
That is so great. I am going to come this year. I'm going to be there. I have to. In fact, I think all of Good News, we should go anyway.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just to support you. Our amazing producer, Danny Tripodi, our director of creative services here at Growth Mode Content, where we take you or your business, give you a podcast monthly, and run or chop it up onto your social media, and make you a star maybe. And Danny helps me run the show there. And then obviously he produces Good News York, which you're watching. So Danny, that's awesome. Retro Game Con, October 10th, 11th, and 12th, right here in Syracuse at the On Center. We will be there, and hope you will too. We're going to take a really quick break. We'll be back on Good News York with some more shite to talk about.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Has got nothing on us. Nothing keeps us from the ones we love. Every game day, hide the tables before Uncle Joe ends up disabled. We don't fear the snow. The snow fears us. Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Right here, right now. Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Wings in the air. With the rods in the hammered lot, hanging out another bowling ball shot till noon when the real fun begins. Ketchup and mustard. Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Right here, right now. Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Right here, right now. Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Right now. Hell no. Would you rather be in New Jersey? Hell no. Would you rather be in Foxborough? Hell no. Or are you happiest right here in the 716 singing Let's Go Buffalo? Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Right here with your family. Right here, right now. Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Mafia means family. Right here, right now. Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Right here with your family. Right here, right now. Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Mafia means family. Right here, right now.
All right, welcome back to Good News York. I'm Mike Brindisi. Sitting in is our amazing producer, Danny Tripodi, and also our director of creative services here at Growth Mode Content. Matt is out today, changing the world, or just, I don't know, eating something. taking his time to get here. I don't know.
He just didn't want
He's
to
drinking
wake up this
coffee. He
morning.
just
It's
didn't want to.
fine.
He's just drinking
It's all
coffee
right.
in the parking lot. So you're stuck with the two of us. We're talking about Retro Game Con, but as you just saw, now look, I didn't, I told Danny, I'm not here just trying to plug my stuff, but this is Good News York, and it's all about good news in New York. And if you're a sports fan, okay, especially an NFL fan, and you're a Bills fan, you know that the only true New York team are the Buffalo Bills, okay? I know what you're thinking. No, the Giants and the Jets, they play in Jersey because they didn't have enough room to build a stadium in New York. But I don't want to hear it because all that revenue goes to the state of New Jersey, not New York. So it's Good News York. I thought I'd play that video. And that is a song that I wrote with Brian Parks. He was a coworker of mine before I was here. And he came to me one day and he goes, hey, man, I know you were in a band. And I was too. I know you're a huge Bills fan. You want to, I want to write some Bills songs. And, you want to sing on it and help me write them. And at first, I'll be honest, I was like, I don't know. That's kind of weird, right? I don't know. Sure. Went over to the house. He had started writing this, Where Else Would You Rather Be Than Right Here, Right Now, which, if you don't know, is a quote from the great Marv Levy during the Super Bowl years. He used to say that to the guys. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? And it's actually become a game day ritual within the last few years where when it's a home game, whoever's leading the charge will do the, hey, let's go Buffalo. But then they'll also say, where else would you rather be? And the whole crowd goes, right here, right now. So we wrote the song, and as soon as I wrote the chorus, the melody, I knew this was special. So I was like, all right, this dude's onto something. And we're still writing a couple songs we'll keep releasing. So that name of that song was Where Else, Marv's anthem, and we recorded under the moniker The K-Gun, which is named after Jim Kelly's offense in the 90s, the K-Gun. So look it up. Where Else Would You Rather, or actually, Where Else, Marv's anthem by the K-Gun. It's on all the things where you get music, where you stream and buy music. We wrote the song, and then we went to the home opener. Yeah. And we shot that video. I shot on my iPhone and then edited it. And it ended up becoming, because I know you and Matt aren't into sports, which is half the reason why I'm talking about sports right now, because Matt's not here. I could talk about sports all day. But what I loved about shooting that video, and I'll be honest, I didn't mean to, but it was for someone like you that's like, I don't really follow sports or football, but man, I really got a taste of what it's like a day in the life of going to a Bills game during the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely am not a huge sports guy, but
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm a big fan of the Bills fans.
I love
Bills
you for that.
Mafia. Yeah,
We're crazy.
I love, and that started from just compilations of people being thrown through tables.
Yeah,
but I really love the Bills fan spirit.
Dude, we are insane.
You guys are like the underdogs too.
Dude, the underdogs. If you watch, we might be the most haunted franchise in sports.
I think that's better.
If you watch the Four Falls of Buffalo, which is a documentary about the four straight Super Bowls that we lost, which I was a kid and I cried after the first one, and then I slowly stopped caring.
Hardened you.
Yeah, it hardened me, and then I stopped being a Bills fan for like a decade because I was just angry.
Yeah.
And then I became a season ticket holder from 2007 to 2017, which if Bills fans are listening or watching, that is the absolute worst goddamn stretch to be a Bill. It was literally called the playoff drought, a 17-year drought.
Was Josh Allen signed after?
Dude, I love that you. I gave up my tickets in 2017, and he was drafted in 18.
Oh, jeez.
Or was he drafted in 17? No, he was drafted in 18. It's fine, though. I have a family, and it's harder. So I go up to 2 or 3 games now a year anyway. But there's a lot of footage of me over the years. I used to go to every game. We used to have like 10 or 15 of us that all had season tickets in the same section. And they were dirt cheap because they sucked. And literally, I paid $600 for an entire season. Wow. And I was 8 rows up from the end zone.
That's amazing.
It's insane. It's more now, but
yeah.
And so I before Alan it was miserable. Then he came along, and so yeah, we wrote the song, and again, it's out there. The K-Gun is the name of the band, and it's called Where Else, Marv's anthem. The way I look at it, Danny, is like, sure, if the Bills wanted to play it at the stadium someday, I would cry. That would be insane. But realistically, if a few Bills fans, if I ever run into someone and they're like, hey, I like that song a lot and I play it before every game, if one person does that, then it's a win. That's all we want.
All right, well, I'll start doing that.
And thank you. And we're working on a few other songs. We're working on one that's like, basically the chorus is like, it doesn't mean a thing to win the East unless you finally beat the Chiefs. A T-shirt's nice, but we want the trophy. We're tired of winning divisions. We want the trophy.
Yeah.
So we've got some more coming down the pipeline. But to respond to your Bills fan thing real quick, I want to explain. That table thing that you see, that wasn't always a thing. So I remember specifically, as I said, I had season tickets for 10 years, right around, I don't know, I want to say like 10, 11, 12, 13, 2013. I remember going to the porta potties in our parking lot. We parked in the same spot. And there was a fence that separated the stadium parking lot from like this dirt private parking lot. And I saw these kids like jumping through tables. I'm like, what the fuck is going on over there? Fast forward a few weeks later and it's on ESPN and it's on social media like this is a thing. And I'm like, no, those are the young Bills. Like, that's not how we roll.
Yeah.
And so the way I explain that though is, you see, for me, I'm in my early 40s, right? So anyone my age and older was around for the Super Bowl years, and we just want to get back and finally get that trophy, right?
Yeah.
But for a lot of the young kids, all they knew is the playoff drought and how bad the Bills have sucked.
Yeah.
And this was before Allen when the tables started. So to them, it was like, hey, I went to a party and a football game happened. You know what I mean? Like, they were there to party and tailgate, and they started jumping through tables because they had nothing better to do. And because social media was on the rise at the time, it caught on.
Yeah.
But now everywhere I go, they're like, oh, so you jump through tables? I'm like, no, if my ass jumped through a goddamn table, I wouldn't be going to another Bills game unless I was sitting in the section with wheelchairs because I wouldn't get out. But yeah, anyway, I love my Bills more than anything. Go Bills.
You better believe it.
I do believe it. Maybe we'll get Jim Kelly on Good News York at some point.
That'd be awesome.
He's an amazing guy. You want to talk about a guy that represents just never giving up. I mean, the man lost 4 Super Bowls, gave it his all every year, but even off the field, he had and I know this is Good News York, but he had a son that passed away at a very young age from a very niche disease. And he still stayed positive, and then he gets mouth cancer like 2 or 3 times and beats it all 3 times. I mean, this dude, I don't know what I believe in, whether it's God, the universe, karma, but like, holy shit.
Yeah.
The guy just doesn't quit. So I would love to get him on here at some point, Jim, if you're listening, which he's not. But anyway, enough of my rambling about the Bills. Check it out. Where Else? Marv's Anthem by the K-Gun. I don't know. I think we've done enough today. I've done enough rambling.
Sure.
Sure.
Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. So thanks for tuning in to Good News York. We are streaming live, goodnewsyork.com, Monday through Thursday. I don't know, around 8 to 10 a.m. Look, it's the Wild West out there in social media now. We don't have like a set time. So thanks for tuning in. Check us out at goodnewsyork.com, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.